Yeah, I just wanna be great. Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just
Hello and welcome to the Halllive news brief. I am your host, Marko Yamashita, and I apologize for the very scuffed and ultimately very guerrilla stream here. I actually just finished doing another stream here. I was streaming WWE 2K22. Where we were doing Halllive, or Halllive event of Hell in a Cell. So my setup is still kind of with for streaming the game, so it probably looks a little scuffed. Beavers, welcome back. Thank you for stopping back. I appreciate you being back here. Let's see here. Alvin, hey, you're back. Wait, you're back. Yes, I am back. I did promise to be back, and I did barely made it into the 15-minute mark. Actually, I was just a little bit longer than that, but yeah, what can you do, right? So yeah, for people who come in and watch the VOD and maybe are not aware of what is happening, let's recap everything just really quick here. And if you hear what sounds like either a child or a cat in the background, that is actually my calico cat, who is begging for attention because she thought I was done streaming, but unfortunately I am still streaming, sweetheart, so you're gonna have to wait. So, for people who are unaware and who are just now finding out, Sana is indeed graduating on July. The announcement by Hololive and by Covercore went out on July 11th, 2022. The announcement is posted on their website, and it reads in part, after I pull it up here on the screen. Actually, window capture. Okay, the announcement reads in part, thank you for your continued support of Halllive production. We regret to inform you that on July 31st, 2022, Tsukumo Sana, I always pronounce her name, Tsukumo Sana will graduate from the VTuber group Halllive English Console. We wish to extend our deepest apologies to all of the fans and related parties for the sudden announcement. after much deliberation between both parties, with the deepest regrets, we have decided to honor her request for graduation. Now, that is very important for everyone who is asking questions, and I know Beavers and Alvin um, in chat just made a great point here, and I think everyone should. I did not. Oh, I knew that. I knew that. There we go. Much better. I think everybody should pay specific attention to this, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are either really trying to dig, looking for controversy, or they are insisting that there is something more going on here. At this point, and we're going to make this extremely clear. At this point, there is nothing to indicate, nothing. Repeat, there is nothing to indicate that any controversy, and there is nothing to indicate that there is any drama going on here, other than Sana requesting that she be allowed to graduate. Her reasons are her own. They are personal reasons, and they are probably very valid. And they're not our concern unless she tells us and she wants us to know. It's none of our business. It's our business only if she makes it public. Let's make that perfectly clear. Because I literally sat here and scrolled through her. I literally scrolled through. Whoop, I am like going backwards in time here. I scrolled through her Twitter announcement here, and there are people in here that are sitting here. Why? No, I want a reason. Why? It's none of our freaking business, people. And if you have been paying attention, if you are like a big fan of hers and have been paying attention, you already know some of those reasons why. Okay? Now, me personally, I'll be honest, I have not had the opportunity to follow her as closely as a lot of other VTubers. Okay? There's a lot of reasons why I haven't had a chance to follow her as much as a lot of other VTubers. You know? And if you know me, and if you follow me, you know a lot of those reasons. Okay? But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Sana and her graduating, okay? There is nothing to indicate that there is any controversy. There is nothing to indicate that there is any drama involved in this situation, other than the fact that she requested cover to grant her graduation. Okay? Now, there has been multiple instances where she has taken multiple breaks because of things that have been going on. That is one of your key indicators of why. If you really, really want to know why, go back and think why she had to take all those breaks. And that might be one of your answers that you've been looking for. But don't go digging into a girl's business. Don't be a Cori. Okay? Don't be a Cori. Calvin, yes, I am back. And I'm preaching to the choir. Okay, so again, Covercore and Halllive did discuss several times with Sana regarding the direction of her activities. However, as time went on, it became difficult to continue her VTuber activities. Again, as you guys know, and as a lot of you in chat know, she had to take multiple breaks because of multiple things that were happening within her life. There has been multiple times where she had to take leave, had to have those extended, absences within, and to my understanding, Cover and Hololive were very gracious and very, accommodating towards, giving her that time. They could have just said, 6 months ago, oh, this is going on, this is happening, we have to give you how much time? That means we're going to be losing X amount of revenue because you're not streaming. Oh, we can't have that. And they could have cut her loose. They could have done that, but they didn't. They gave her that opportunity to, try to handle and take care of business, try to, do all the things that, that she could do to have, to do, take care of what was going on around her and then come back. I mean, so it's as much as people demonize Covercore, and as much as and even me, as much as we demonize Covercore and Hololive at times because of this of situations that have come about, at least with the information available, we can at least say at this moment that we at least have the appearance that Covercore and Halllive were as accommodating as possible in order to give her the opportunity to try to make things work. Now if it's regarding her health, if it's regarding things that involve her as a person, whether it be physically, mentally, psychologically, whatever, all those pieces and components, they really, that those things are really, hard to work on when you have the pressures of being a streamer, a VTuber, and having to meet all these criteria, So, recently in Arknights, they released a new characters. 2 of them is her work. Really? I did not know that. I know she's a very talented artist, and I know that she's able to do some amazing work. I've seen a lot of her work. A lot of things that she's done and designed and whatnot, and she does do an amazing job. So I really think that even after this, yeah, just to let you know, I know that a lot of people feel very uncomfortable with other people typing in all caps and chat. Now, I don't have my censoring on because most people abide by that rule, but we would likely appreciate it if you wouldn't type in all in caps, because that typically indicates that you are yelling. We can see what you're saying just fine without you typing in caps. Just letting you know. I don't want to bonk you or nothing like that, but it would be appreciated if you just type normally, if you wouldn't mind. But I do appreciate the input. at the moment, I do feel that Hololive has given a lot of care towards Sana, with especially with her health, and her situation. Now, there's I think there's a drastic night. Welcome, and it's fine. It's fine. I'm glad you made it. You missed a great wrestling pay per view. Very, very, very good wrestling pay per view. If you have a chance to watch the VOD later, oh man, it was intense. Very fun, and very intense. It's worth watching. It's worth rewatching. Um, but yeah, um, no, it's fine. It's fine. Um, some people that they think if they have to type in caps because they otherwise they're gonna get ignored. And I do try to read everyone's comments. I may not be able to respond to everyone's comments, but since it's slower right now, especially right now, it's fine. So Phoenix, welcome, welcome. Um, Sana, it kind of reminds me of me.
おかえりなさい。
Welcome. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. Sana reminds me a lot of me, with the bad luck and stuff like that. And I think sometimes that's why I have a hard time watching, because she reminds me of me. But at the same time, I do appreciate the fact that she doesn't quit. So it's one of those things. Hey, I appreciate that you didn't get angry for me, asking you. So thank you for me, meeting me halfway with that, and I appreciate you giving me an explanation for what why I was doing that. It's cool. It's cool. Um, as far as I know, I think um the company that runs Arknights and Azure Lane, they're one of the two companies, Chinese companies, that have that big contract with Halllive. So for her to be, to have her art featured in the game, it is likely, partly because that there was the contract there, and she was, as an artist, she was able to get that type of deal made, where as an artist she was able to get her art featured in there. And they likely paid her for it as well, as a bonus or something like that. But as if I remember correctly, I do believe that the parent company is one of the investors, one of the two mobile gaming investors that have a contract with Covercore. Welcome, Phoenix. Well, we're basically talking about Sana's graduation. We're kind of splintering off a little bit, as we are running into some segues as we're going through the announcement of her graduation. Um, uh, Dr. Amelia Hyde mentioned that Sana had two characters that were being featured in a mobile game that were hers, that were of her design. Um, yeah, recently in Arknights they released new characters, and two of them were her works. That's what Amelia Hyde said. So that we were just kind of talking about that, and that the parent company is, if I remember correctly, the parent company that runs that game is one of those two investors for CoverCore. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not sure on that, Calvin. Um, I haven't heard that one, but I don't keep up on that game, to be honest. So I usually catch mobile news when I'm researching something else in relation to it. Yeah, and that's kind of how I learned about some of the other things that about the contracts with cover and everything else when I was researching the Halllive alternative. So, but let's finish covering the graduation announcement here real quick. Halllive did deliberate and talk with Sana, and unfortunately with the situation that is currently as is, they weren't able to find accommodations for her. So they're granting her request to graduate. Now they are offering refunds for her birthday celebration merchandise and everything for this year for the current orders. If you feel compelled to, and they tell they say go to the shop, and if you want to request that type of thing. Um, I feel very. It feels kind of wrong. This is my opinion, but it feels kind of wrong if if you feel, look, if you feel like her graduating is burning you in some way. I would ask the motivation of why you feel that way. I mean, you were willing to invest the money into her because why? Because you wanted to support her, or what was the real intention? You know, I mean, if you're willing to invest money into a streamer, like especially like this, and this is just my opinion, okay, but if you're willing to invest money into a streamer like this, especially if you buy a birthday set, which is like 100, 129, 200, with shipping it can come up to $200. If you're willing to invest that kind of money into a streamer, you feel like they're worth it, right? Now, if you're gonna put that kind of money into them, wouldn't you want to put that kind of money into them if they have to leave? I mean, it's not like she is, taking your money and running. Especially if you're willing to put this kind of money into her, um, you probably have watched her long enough to know some of what she's been going through. So you should know in some shape, way, or form, what she's likely facing, and that she will probably need that money uh, in the months ahead, right? This is just my opinion. I mean, I always use the example. My senpai. I call her my senpai, even though we don't work together. We don't work for an agency together, but as someone who is a VTuber, has been a VTuber longer than me, and has taught me so many things over the past 6-7 months that I've known her. I have spent more money on her than I've spent on Hololive. Girl, any one person Halllive, and she's, I would consider her independent. Very, I mean, I have as many subscribers as she has, and I've spent more money on her than I've spent on Halllive girls. Okay, and you know why? Because I want to support her. I mean, I dropped $250 to get her 1 year anniversary merch shipped to me, and I it consisted of a cup, a signed a signed acrylic thing with a block with a picture in it, and and a small acrylic statue. But I was willing to invest that kind of money because I want to see her succeed, right? So I mean, I'm not trying to tell you not to, if you want your money back, you'll get your money back. But I mean, I would really ask you, why are you investing that money? Why did you invest that money in the first place? And then think about, I mean, don't you want something to remember her by? Instead of just the memories. I mean, that's partly why you bought it in the first place, right? That's my opinion. But let's see here. In light of Sana's graduation, we'll be opening an extended period in which fan mail and presents will be accepted, which is a good thing. In addition, her channel membership and members-only content will continue to be available for 3 months after her graduation, which is really, really gracious. I mean, wow. They're actually giving people 3 months. Wow. That doesn't happen, people. I mean, the outcry, from people, apparently, I guess, may have actually been heard for once, where they say, you know what, don't just cancel it in 18 days. They're giving you 3 months. Wow. Okay, I mean, we don't hear from Alpha Omega anymore, but I mean, hopefully this is partly somehow her doing, and it saves me the trouble of having to make open letters and and trying to get campaigns to not have that stuff like closed down in 18 days. Okay, awesome. So deadlines for each service are as follows: fan mail and present acceptance periods. Acceptance period must arrive on or before October 31st, 2022. Membership and exclusive content goes until basically November 1st. So 11:59 JST. So that's very important, guys. Remember that membership and exclusive content expires November 1st JST. So midnight JST time, November 1st. We express our heartfelt gratitude towards everyone who supported her activities throughout the past year. Since the announcement of Halllive console, English console, we will continue to support her fully until graduation. We would ask for your full, unwavering support in this remaining time till her graduation. Will they delete her channel? There is no indication that they will delete her channel, but member only content will be locked away after October 31st. So if there's anything in member only content that and or you are a member, um, if there's anything in there that you want to save, now might be a good time to save it, or within the next 3 months. I'm not sure. I was only a member of her channel for 1 month, and that was when she first started. I'm not sure if she has anything in her member only streams or channel that is like highly sought after or popular that people would want to you know keep unlocked or have archived somewhere. I think it's her content might be a little bit different than like people like Rushia's, where Rushia had a lot more intimate type of conversations and stuff like that. But I mean, again, Sana was very much a different type of person versus like people like Rushia. So I mean for all I know, she could have had stand up comedy, acts that were member only in her streams, there, and people love that kind of stuff on Netflix. So I mean, who knows? I mean, if you're a member of her streams or her channel, and and there's stuff in there that you want to save, I would suggest that you back it up or archive it within the next 3 months. But at least the content of the announcement itself is very positive. There's nothing in between the sentences or the lines here that indicate that there is any animosity or any kind of conflict between both parties. Sana did say that the announcement itself would be generic, but in actuality, it does speak a lot of volumes if you compare what is said here versus what has been said with people like Coco, with people like Rushia, and even with comments and announcements and statements issued with other controversies of leave of absences and people being put on suspension and everything else in the past, where they may have commented about talking to other parties. However, the content of how those conversations went down and how the outcome came to be where it was is drastically different, just based upon the statements that were made here, that they discussed things with her several times regarding her activity directions. That falls in line with everything that has been talked about and has been said, and that we as fans have observed over the past year with things that have happened within her life, and having to take those multiple breaks. We know for a fact that she had to have approach management regarding those breaks, and the way that those directly affect her activities, and they would have had to discuss those those leaves of absences, and as time went on, she had took those leaves of absences. She came back, she worked again, and she had to take more leaves of absences. That again falls straight in line with what they're saying here. It became more difficult to continue her VTuber activities. We know for a fact that she had had a back injury. She had She's had trouble with it ever since. She hasn't fully healed. She still is recovering from things. It's difficult for her to stream. I mean, I can completely relate to that. I run into the same thing with my back, and I suffer from a lower back injury, and sometimes it's very difficult to stream, much less stream for several hours at once. So, um, you know, um, and you do have to sit there and deliberate about it. How can we do this? Can we limit the streams? Well, can we limit the amount of time that you stream? Well, can we cut down on the hours, but can you continue to stream 5 days a week? You start playing the game of, well, can we take from here but keep this amount of frequency? You start playing that game. I played that game with my employers too, my past employers. Well, I can't work 8 straight hours, with my back the way it is. Okay, well, can you work 5 but still work a 5-day work week? Well, that may be difficult depending on how my back feels. And you start playing, okay, well, can you at least give me 3 days a week? Well, I can give you, and you can say, well, I can give you 3 days, but I can't lay out a schedule for you. It depends on how I feel that day when I wake up in the morning. And then you start having to play that kind of game, you see. So it becomes increasingly difficult for a manager, or much less a company that has to have a schedule for their talent or for their workers to to say, okay, well, I have these slots that need to be filled, and I need this person here, but that person can't guarantee that they're going to be able to fill that slot. So I either have to let that person go because they can't fill that slot, or I have to see, what that person can give me so I can find someone else to maybe fill that slot, So there's a lot of stuff, there's just a lot of stuff that comes involved in it, It is very difficult because, I mean, I'll tell you exactly. Let me, and I'm glad you're bringing that up, Amelia, because let me give you an example, using me as an example, okay? Because I mean, with my health history and my back history, I can somewhat relate to this, where you start feeling that obligation to stream, right? You start feeling that obligation to put out that product because you don't want to disappoint people, your viewers. You want to try to keep you're trying to keep your viewer count up. You're trying to get your subscriptions up. You're trying to you're trying to keep that income going, or in my case, you're trying to get monetized. And then you're trying to make the most interesting content. So you're putting in time after the stream. You're trying to put together the best presentation you can. So then you're putting time in, that takes away time from you, being able to relax and rest your body and rest your mind, and putting, and putting that into keeping yourself healthy. So then you end up starting to, lose sleep over that type of stuff. And then, pretty soon you're just completely consumed because you're 24/7. If you're not trying to put on your stream, you're doing your stream. And if you're not doing your stream, you're trying to get ready for your next stream. And if you're not getting ready for your next stream, you're trying to find the materials to get ready for your next stream, because your next stream is about to start, and you're not ready for that stream or the stream after that because you're still trying to get ready. And that's the way it starts going, and if you listen to a lot of the ladies here, that's why they are so thankful that that they have people who do fan art for them. They have people that they're able to just like look at Twitter, and sometimes they'll have 20 different fan arts to pick from, and they don't have to draw their own fan art for their calendar that week, or they don't have to draw their own thumbnail for that stream or whatever, because because people are doing that stuff, and they're really grateful for it, because that actually takes time off of their hands, or gives time to them, and it takes that task off of their hands, where they could dedicate that hour, or however long it takes for them to put together a thumbnail of whatever quality, and they could put it towards something else, so people, if you don't realize by now, a lot of people think that what Hololive does is what happens on Twitter, on Twitch, okay, where 90. Okay, I'm gonna exaggerate the number, but I'm gonna say 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 people that stream on Twitch that aren't quote unquote professionals. 8 out of 10, they think of what games they're gonna stream for that week. They turn on their camera and they stream. That's it. And then if they get enough to get monetized, they get monetized. If they and some of them, they don't even think of a schedule. They just guerrilla it or whatever. But once you start getting into like semi-professionals, you start getting into people who are doing a VTuber type of streams. People who are trying to get into the business. You get people who are trying to sign on with some kind of VTuber agency, some kind of talent agency. They want to look more professional. They start putting time and effort into those things. They start there is an investment into it, and then there's a time sink into it. There's more of a presentation behind it than just showing up and playing a game. And people don't realize that, especially when it comes to Halllive. And especially with Halllive, people don't realize with Halllive, and with other VTuber agencies, they're again, and I've said this so many times, especially since I've been a VTuber, way back in January. Halllive girls, they don't just play a game for 5 hours and then that's it, and then they're rolling the money the rest of the day. They play a game for 5 hours, then they drop that, then they have to go on. They if they're in Japan, they gotta ride a freaking bus, or they gotta ride a train, and then they gotta go, or they gotta walk, and then they gotta go voice lessons, then they gotta go dance lessons. Then they have meetings, whether it be either through Discord or in person. They have obligation meetings with investors. Several of them have talked about having to meet investors. That they, when they're doing like collaborations. Like, the whole thing with like Sega, for example, Cori had, they had the whole presentation where Cori was sitting with the panel, and they were doing all the announcements. She had to practice with them. She it wasn't like she was just even showing up and then, they sign, they log her into the computer, and then boom, she's there, and then they start talking. They had to do some practice with that presentation. Not to mention that she also had to meet the investors as part of that as well. So for Sana to go through try to go through all this with, health issues, and then also with all the other personal stuff that's happening behind the scenes, and Halllive to give her this wide berth of, you know, hey, you got all this stuff going on, but we can see that you're dedicated, and they've allowed her to leave, come back, leave, come back. They try to work with her. They try to give her the, as many options as possible, at least from what I've seen, and from what I've read. I mean, at least Hololive English seems to at least, it seems to they've at least they at least give a damn about their talent. I mean, and I don't mean to trash JP, but there are times where I feel like JP management doesn't care as much as what the English management does. It seems like English management at least tries to bend a little bit backwards when it comes to things that are going on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, welcome. Well, welcome. Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping in. What would happen if cover terminates Coco? The world would. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear you. There are some decisions that Hololive has made over, at least since I've watched them. I've as a person, I have like sat there and thought, why? Okay, and I'm going to choose my words a little carefully here because this isn't about race. Okay? This isn't about race or nationalism or anything else. But what this is about is the fact that there are investors involved within the corporate business that have a dictation of decision making that happens within the business that directly affects the talent that works for the business. And that in itself is a political influence that can target specific people based solely upon whether or not they like or dislike them. And you can quote me on that. And again, I will point directly to the investors that I mentioned earlier regarding those two mobile company games, those two game companies, those that produce mobile games, that are direct investors of Hololive. Those two contracts are huge. I don't know the exact dollar amount. I don't remember the dollar amount off the top of my head. But I do know that the amount that is involved in those contracts are what initially, if I remember the timing of those investments, I believe I believe those contracts were signed and were the one of the major contributors that initially payrolled the whole Halllive alternative project. I would have to double check on that, but if I remember the timing of the financial reports that I've read, and when the announcements came out, they coincide with each other as far as I remember. And those investments were top contributors to it. So, I mean, it's no doubt that there's that involvement within the whole situation. Now, as far as Sana goes, I'm happy that just looking at some of the other announcements here. Some of the other news articles. Dextero, and their news article here, they mentioned that the Halllive console stars want to give Sana a great send-off ahead of her graduation. I love this picture, by the way. I just absolutely love this picture. I always pictured get that banner out there. I always pictured Bay kind of sitting there in the middle. I always felt like she was sitting on a throne right there in the middle, as opposed to just because she was shorter than everyone else. I always feel like that. She was like, "Yeah, this is my throne." I love this picture. Anyways, so yeah, according to their news article, instead of dwelling on the announcement, they want to give the Speaker of Space a great send-off in her final weeks with positive vibes only, just ahead of Halllive Console's 1-year anniversary, which is extremely sad. I mean, they are coming up on the eve of their 1-year anniversary too. While there's still 3 more weeks till the big day, they also had some forewarning compared to the general public. The other 4 members wanted to give Sana the best send-up possible, with plenty of collabs and fun memories to be made. So, I'm sure that must have been hard for them to know that this was coming and not be able to say anything. And it kind of makes sense now that that I read this, because I mean, I know Fauna, she did not sound like her usual self the last few times I watched her. She sounded kind of down, but compared to her normal self, and and there were times where chat was always able to get her to snap out of it, but there was a lot of times where she sounded like she was down, or she sounded kind of sad. So that explains a lot, though. So all Sana's gen mates have publicly acknowledged her departure on Twitter with an air of melancholy. Let's see. Chinese hate Vizojo for keeping K-san, and have some Japanese hate Vizojo as well for keeping Mikiniko. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second here, because So I do want to I do want to mention that real quick. Um, see, fellow Australian council member Bay said Sana was one of a kind, and she'll always be supporting you and will always love you. This sentiment was echoed by Mume and Fana, who tweeted out love hearts and colors of the Halllive members. While Cori canceled her planned stream because she didn't want her mood to rub off on others, Mume pushed forward with her stream just 2 hours after Sana's. You know, I know that my opinion on Cori isn't popular, um, because a lot of people find her demeanor extremely sexy or whatever. you know um I just I find I guess I find Coroni kind of hard to read because I don't know. I guess I don't know if she is being sarcastic at or if she is trying to be she's trying to mask how she really feels, or or if she's just being antagonistic. So I always find it difficult to know exactly what she's thinking or how she's thinking, and I guess I've because of that I've never really watched a lot of her, and so I don't know. I don't know if she's. I guess I guess I guess I can say I don't know if she's capable of publicly showing that she's sad, or if she would just display it as being angry, or it being perceived as being angry. I mean, has she ever cried in I mean, not crocodile tears, not fake crying. Has she ever actually seemed sad in any of her streams, like actually sad? I mean, she always seems really guarded with and it's beyond that Gap Moe type of guarded too. It's almost like um it feels like she has her heart locked behind Fort Knox type of guarded, like literally like the Ice Queen. Yeah, she probably may be Canadian. You think she's sensitive? I mean, I can find like what she does as humorous, but I feel like I don't dare laugh, because if I laugh, she would get mad. at least if she was in front of me, I'd feel like she would get mad. I mean, that's just the way I feel, though. I mean, I can't read her. She's one of the few women I can't read. I really can't. I mean, honestly though, this this really has me wanting to um, try to recap her final days um, as part of Halllive if I'm up for it. Um, obviously my health is going to be a factor in that as well. So I'm not going to be able to do it as often as I'd like, or whatever. But I mean, there's 3 weeks left. Roughly. Well, yeah, 17, 18 days. So it might be worth being able to like kind of recap what she's done for you know any of her collabs or final streams and stuff like that. I mean, it's sad, but I mean, you guys probably are like me in a lot of ways, where you look at the way that her and the other holo console girls came in, and they came in, you know, with a huge, and I'm using that metaphor, specifically, they with a huge splash. I mean, that their vignettes were just, just um, they literally took the VTuber news over the entire time. Everyone that saw the vignettes, they're pray to the cube, pray to the circle, pray to the sphere, pray to this, pray to that. Um, I mean, everything was just a everything went from a meme to um, being almost comedic to being okay. Which console member is going to is gonna mess up the collab this time. The console Which console member is gonna mess up the meeting this time. And typically it was Sana, either like not being able to spawn in with the other four, or being kicked out, and literally like being outside of where the rest of them were, or whatever. I mean, some of those collabs were just classics compared to now that you think back to them. Um, yeah, it's I mean, I'm genuinely sad that to see her leave, but I honestly think that I would rather have her being able to say goodbye like this now, than not being able to properly do it, and then um, having cover one day just say, well, you know, we can't. She can't. You know. Stream for us anymore. She's graduating. She's gone, and you're never going to hear from her again. I mean, there is. Crony is Canadian. She accidentally. Oh, that is right. I remember that. I remember she did accidentally reveal that. Yes, she is. I remember hearing her say that. She did mention that. Wasn't that during like a Minecraft stream or something like that? I remember her saying something like that. Well, yeah, that's just that, she, Sana, well, won't lose any of her friends that she's met, with her time at Halllive, for sure. I mean, I can tell. Hey, bye, Phoenix. Thanks for stopping in. I can tell that that Bay. I mean, Bay has seems like the type that is clingy. It is probably the best way I could describe it. I think her she's clingy, and she would not want to ever lose contact with her. Um, Konnichiwa. Welcome back, Oreo. Um, and I think that with Fauna, I mean, Fauna is sentimental. I, and I she has she's shy, and I think she has a problem with expressing herself. But I also think that she is the type that would not want to lose contact either. Um, Mori, of course, Mori's the type that would, she tells everyone, "Don't you dare stop talking to me, even after you graduate. You don't dare stop talking to me, you know, even after I become famous. Don't you dare stop talking to me." That kind of, that kind of mentality. And of course, like you said, Kiara is. I think honestly, Kiara is like the mother, literally the mother hen of Hololive EN, where she has a foul mouth, she has an attitude, but she loves every one of them to death. You know, and she does not ever want anything happening to any of them because, she's Mama Hen. You know, she's not just the owner of KFP. She's literally Mama Hen, and she loves all of her gen mates, and she loves everyone, in Halllive, and all of her friends, and all of her coworkers and everyone she collabs with. She does not ever want, as much as she swears, and as much as she can get salty at times. I don't think she wants anything bad happening to anyone that she really cares about, or anyone that any of her listeners, or any of her gen mates, or any of her coworkers, past or present. uh, she is so Canadian. The more you mention it, the more I'm starting to remember that there's a lot of nuances in the way she speaks that, partial disclosure, I do live close to the Canadian border, but I do not live in Canada. But I run into enough Canadians to know that you're I know what you're saying, Beavers. But I mean, I like the fact that, like, I was just kind of thumbing through some of, like, her interview here with Crunchyroll and stuff like that. And I mean, I like the fact that I was reading some of her answers and stuff like that, and one of them was, being part of the council must be an interesting position. What was it like with your fellow council members in the past few months? And she said, "We're like a family now. We're always together through good and bad, and I couldn't imagine doing this with anyone other than them. Um, and with that time under your belt, you're already you've already had plenty of interesting, heartwarming experiences. What do you think makes VTubing such a special form of content that connects with people in such a deep way? And and she said, I think being able to interact directly with VTubers is a unique is unique to other mediums that isn't done so accessibility anywhere else. It's This is really sweet. Um, Not that I'm doing VTubing, I can say I have the same feeling interacting with viewers. She's had lots of fun. I mean, I mean, she even talks about, like, when she was, she loves, she loves having freedom and going, through things at her own pace. When talking about playing video games, what was she like most about playing video games? I think it makes me get easily attached to characters and how the world within the video games are pieced together. I mean, that's kind of how people get attached to VTubers. To be honest, guys, I mean, we all go through. As content creators, as VTubers, and as viewers, we all go through that same kind of thing where we talk to each other, we interact with each other, we share the same experiences together through some different viewpoints, but at the same time, it's a shared experience, and we can talk about those things. We can have moments like this where we can reminisce about experiences of what Sana did in the past, what made her special and important to us, and those types of things are just what makes it this type of medium unique compared to watching some Korean boy band, or watching going to some concert. Yeah, you can talk about the concert, right? But did you interact with any of the singers? Did you interact with any of the band? Did you or did you just go there and listen and then walk away? There's a totally different connection between those two things. And I mean, that's what makes for me, that's what makes the people that feel hurt the most right now with Sana graduating, with like I was telling Pina earlier today from Prison Project. I told her, I said, I hadn't had a chance to sit down and watch her stream in almost a week, because I mean, with my health the way it is, and then me getting food poisoning on Sunday, I hadn't had a chance to watch her at all. I missed her debut of her original song. I missed video, her original song video debut. I missed her after party. I missed her 1 year anniversary stream. I mean, I missed a lot of stuff, and it's like, you feel bad, because it's like, it's like missing your best friend's birthday. You feel bad about it, even though you're not like best friends or anything like that. You still feel something, because you spend 2-3 hours with these people every single day, or every time they stream. So what when people say, and this is what I This is for every person that is in the stream right now, whether you're a lurker or you're a chatter or not. I want I want you guys to understand this, okay? Don't ever let somebody say you don't have a connection with a VTuber. Don't ever let somebody, again, do not ever let someone tell you that you do not have a connection with a VTuber. Okay? Now, I'm not about to go on some, crazy rant that, that is completely, like, ludicrous or anything like that. What I'm saying, and again, I'm not encouraging, and, let's just get this out of the way. I'm not encouraging you to be like, a paranoid stalker type of, creep person that's obsessed with a VTuber and you think that they're actually your girlfriend and they belong to you or all that nonsense. Okay? What I'm saying is that you can have connections with people and they can be genuine connections even if they are a VTuber. It doesn't matter if they are a VTuber or if they are a streamer or if they're presented to you in 2D or 3D or in live picture or live video or whatever the case may be. You can have a connection with a person if they are talking to you and presenting something to you and they are genuinely reaching out to you because that's what they're doing or that's what they want to do. If the purpose of what they're doing is to reach out to you, either through presentation or through interaction or through entertainment, then you can develop a connection with them. Okay? The difference in it is knowing whether or not that connection is either a fruitful one or whether or not it's an empty one. If it's a hollow one, an empty one that is just there to, either entertain you or to convince you to give them money, that's one thing. I mean, that's a worthless connection. It's an empty connection. It's worthless. It's there for the moment, then it's gone. But if it's one where you literally have been gone for a week or more, and then you pop back into their chat and you say hi, and like today, I popped into Pina's chat before I streamed earlier today, and she's like, "Marko, hey, I haven't seen you in such a long time. Welcome back." I'm like, "What?" She has hundreds of people that pop into her chat. Hundreds. I mean, she literally, gets close to 1,000 people that watch her videos. And she recognized that one person, a person like me who, sometimes only gets 10 people to watch a video of me screaming about ghosts. Could she realized that I have been gone for a week. That's a connection, guys. I mean, she really recognized that, hey, he hasn't been around for a while and he's back. So I mean, of course, Sana isn't gonna, be able to memory recognize, thousands and thousands of people. But you know what? I mean, for a while there, before before Mori really, really, really blew up, popularity wise, I she used to recognize me when I sent her a super chat, you know, and she, there was a time where like I dropped her a super chat, and then I was gone for several months, and then I dropped her another super chat, and she's like, "Hey, you haven't been in membership streams for a couple of months. I hope you're doing okay." I'm like, What?" She realized I haven't been in membership streams. I mean, what? you know? So, I mean, don't think that, that these, big, even big streamers, I mean, I'm not telling you that every streamer is going to make that connection with you, or you're going to feel that connection, or you're going to, they're going to be able to reciprocate that connection. I'm not telling you that every streamer is going to be able to do that for you. Okay? Don't get that twisted. But what I am saying is that you can have those connections with streamers. If you find value within that streamer, if that streamer can provide you with honest value, that is a connection. You know, uh, Fauna, when I listen to her, there are times where I'll put Fauna you know, on another tab, and I'll just listen to her talk. I don't care what the heck she's talking about. I just want to hear her talk because it makes me comfortable, and it makes me happy, and it's, to me, it's soothing and it's relaxing, and honestly, there are times where I do feel like she's actually talking to me as a person, even though I know she's just talking in general because she's trying to make conversation while she's doing whatever she's doing or playing whatever she's playing. But you know what? It reminds me of like when I when I was in a relationship, and how like after I'd get home from work, I would sit down with my girlfriend, and we would sit there, and like we'd either be playing video games together, or we'd be watching TV, and I'd just listen to my girlfriend talk, and I'd have her tell me about her day, and I'd listen to her complain about her coworkers, or complain about something that happened at work, or tell me about whatever it is that she happened with her parents and her family, or things that she wants to do that week, whatever it might be. Just listening to her talk, because I enjoy listening to to people talk. I think it's fascinating to hear what's going on in their minds. I mean, that's the exact same thing with Fauna. Same thing with Mel. Same thing with Roboco. I love listening to them talk, because I can hear them talk to, telling me things that are happening around them, and to me it's actually relaxing. Even if it's that they're excited about getting ready for some concert, or some preparation for their next album or their next single or whatever, or Roboco's talking about I swear the girl obsesses about food so much. She loves food. I don't know why, but she does. But you know so I mean, don't I know I segued a lot there, but I mean, it if you're in pain because Sana's leaving, I can understand. I really can. I mean, I don't have that connection with Sana, but I can relate to the thousands of people who do have that connection with her, and I would feel just as horrible. Um, yeah, I feel sorry for um you know I think that's part the roughest part of the whole thing is you know yeah I last year was a big deal. When they all got together on the Minecraft server, and they were able to play games together, and they were able to do things together. And like when you know before Coco left, you know yeah, yesterday was a rough day. It's tough. It's really tough. I mean, when and it's you never want to see somebody you never want to see somebody leave, and that's yeah. Yeah, I mean, the best thing to do, and I hope everyone remembers this the most is that um, we want we do want what's best for her. I think everybody wants what's best for her. And if that means that she's able to to prioritize what she needs to prioritize in her life, because she doesn't have to worry about these other things involving streaming and her obligations with Halllive and cover and all those other things. I think that's definitely what would be best. You know, and um, that doesn't say that she will be cut off from everybody completely. I'm sure that there will be those that will be able to relay how you can stay how should you say stay informed on her well-being afterwards. Either and especially if she chooses to make herself publicly known with an alternative persona afterwards, or she returns to whatever her former persona used to be or anything like that. I mean, that's typically what a lot of people do in order to reconnect with fans that may want to find them before they decide if they're going to stick with that old persona or move to something different. So I mean, there's always that, and then there's also um, the there's also the fact that you want to you want to in my opinion you want to you want to feel sad and recognize that it's okay to feel sad, because if you don't feel sad about the situation, it says a lot about how you really viewed that person inside. You know, and I'll I'll phrase it like this. Um, you know, people have always, you know, so, a lot of you guys that, yeah, and that's a good way of looking at it, Oreo. Um, what I mean is, and I want, and I want people to really, think about it. You know, um, a lot of people, either that are, um, regulars of my channel, they know that I lost my mother to cancer. What is it, about 8, 10 months ago, somewhere around there, and it hit me extremely hard, and it still affects me to this day. It still affects me. Um, and for a long, 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 long time, months, I was so sad that there were times where I didn't even want to get out of bed. I mean, that's how sad I was. And people, you know, at the beginning, some people, or most people were, understanding. Oh, yeah, it's a sad, situation, etc., etc. But as time started moving on, people started, becoming less sympathetic about it. And as as time moved on and people started, that news started getting further and further away from, when it happened, people started, telling me, well, isn't it time that you moved on? You know, isn't it time that you started, getting up? I mean, yeah, it is sad. And yeah, I understand you miss her, but you being sad isn't going to bring her back. And it's like, when something cuts that deep because of something or somebody, you lost somebody that is that important to you, regardless of who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be your parent, it could be your wife, your husband, it could be your pet, it could be, it could be your favorite, ring, it could be your, it doesn't matter what you've lost. If you lose somebody or something that is so important to you, that it's so devastating that you've lost whatever that is, that it's irreplaceable inside of you. It's okay to feel sad, because, and it's okay to recognize that, if you feel that sad about losing that specific thing that you treasured inside, that just shows how important it was to you, and how much that, that person or that thing meant to you. And at least to you, that person, those feelings towards that person meant something. Now, that does not give license to turn around and turn that sadness into, something depraved or something, morbid or twisted, which like a lot of people, often say, well, that psychopath, got sad over this person, getting fired or getting terminated or graduating or whatever, and so they went and they started attacking, these fans or this group, or they started doing this, or this group of people was mad because this person, is no longer, able to do this, and what about them? That, when you start twisting what was initially a pure and honest thing, all right, and when you pervert it, that's when it's wrong. Okay? There is a line between what is honest and then perverse. And people forget that. Honestly, people forget that. So, when people say it's just a VTuber, stop being sad over a VTuber. Just because she has to graduate, stop being sad over her graduating. It's okay to feel sad that she's graduating. It's okay to feel sad that she's experiencing personal issues that are causing her to graduate. And it's okay to feel powerless that you can't do anything to help her, so she can continue on being Sana that represents space. It's okay to feel to feel those things. Because I know a lot of us feel that way. A lot of us, when these announcements come along, we feel powerless to do anything. All we can do is wish them well and give them, a going away present, and try to hopefully support them after they graduate. It's okay to feel that way. But the important thing is that you recognize that, if you feel sad, it's a good thing that you feel sad, because that means that, what you feel inside is something that was honest. But if you start letting that sadness twist and turn and become hate and become morbid and become an obsession or a vendetta, or anything like that, anything other than what it originally was, which was, love and respect towards that VTuber, then it's wrong. So that's why you need to keep it the way it always is. And when they have to leave, it's still going to be sad. You're still going to cry. You're still going to feel empty inside afterwards, after they have to sign off. But at least you're able to see them off with a smile. You see them off. You wish them well. You do everything you possibly can to support them till their last second. And then you're able to see them off. Because honestly, people who stream, me, for a guy like me, if I have to, quote unquote, graduate tomorrow and never stream again, if I have to walk away because of my health, I'm gonna be sad that I'm not gonna be able to do it anymore. But it's not gonna be as devastating to a guy like me as it is devastating to, somebody like Sana or these other big VTubers, or that have, you know, been able to make careers off of it. They um, they've been able to feel that they've not only been able to um, they've not only been able to make a career off of it, but they've also been able to, express their talents through it. They've been able to make connections to it with thousands and thousands of people. They've been able to make connections, and now those connections are going to shrink from tens of thousands to back to maybe 100, maybe. I mean, yeah, she's probably going to gain more privacy again, but I mean, you honestly, you start feeling a little lonely. It's weird to say. It's really weird to say, but like, I mean, you hear streamers say all the time, that you don't have any privacy when you're, when you're a streamer. Um, but when you don't stream, you start feeling lonely. I mean, when I went 2 weeks without streaming, I was going bonkers. I mean, people who know me, saw me tweeting on Twitter like crazy, and it was because I couldn't stream, and I don't tweet that much to begin with. I tweet maybe 2 or 3 times a day, and I was sitting there tweeting like, 10, 20 times a day because I was going nuts. So I mean, so I mean, the moral of the story is, guys, I mean, I did the same thing for Coco when I found out she was graduating. I didn't follow her nearly as much as I did on her final days. But on her final, hold up, I want you to leave us, by the way, so you want me to leave you? Okay, bye, click. No, it's kidding. You don't. Yeah, I ain't leaving for a little while anyways. Yeah. I do still have my wrist surgery coming up, but I'm not leaving it, because of that. Um yeah, Mickey Nico. Um segue real quick. So the rumor that I've seen that is supposedly like 95% true is that she's supposedly going to be this other character that is joining Visojo. Now, I know that she deleted the personal Twitter account that I was following. And she had been very very public and vocal on that one about things that she was doing privately. So to me, when she deleted that account right before she the announcement of Kason and this other VTuber supposedly joining Visojo, that gives me an indication that there's probably some credibility to those rumors. Now, I don't know if there were definitive confirmations that have been made afterwards. you know, yeah, I know that a lot of people have already made videos like, you know, saying that, you know, yeah, that she's joining. It's you know, even Dextro last week did an article that people are convinced that the new VTuber is in fact her. Lots of people are theory questing about it. And she is still streaming on. I know she's still streaming on Twitcasting. She's been still been pretty active on there. I you know, and other than the one gorilla stream that she did on YouTube, I haven't seen any activity on YouTube for her on that. Um, and for Fanbox, see your Fanbox. The last time she updated Fanbox was July 2nd. And that was her $15 or 1500 yen tier. So she hasn't updated Fanbox in a while. And before that, she hadn't updated it since she updated that on June 28th. That was the 1500 tier. And before that, she did update the 50,000 yen tier on the June 20th. Yeah, she did stream that Pokemon. Yeah, and I think she dueled against a bunch of people on Pokemon Sword and Shield. So yeah, she did do that stream, and she did sound like she was having a lot of fun doing that. I do remember briefly being able to tune into that stream, so that I was happy to see that. You know, and the last tweets that she put out on her personal Twitter account, she was doing extremely well with her visits to the doctor, to the psychologist, you know, getting her mental health counseling, saying that she, you know, every time she went and went into the doctors, you know, for sessions and talking about her meds and stuff like that, she always came out feeling a lot better, feeling relieved, you know, feeling like she was getting things treated. um, I think that, you know, you know, and just, you know, to cover bases, you know, you know, she does have a channel set up um, in Twitch already. You know, even though there's no content, she hasn't streamed yet or anything like that. Um, and she has always expressed curiosity about streaming on Twitch. Um, Even though you know, a lot of people have warned against it, and even JP Bros are not necessarily high on watching her on Twitch. You know, and one of the biggest downfalls of streaming on Twitch is that a lot of JP Bros just you know, there are there. Don't get me wrong. There are Japanese streamers on Twitch, and there are some pretty significant ones that have reasonable and reasonable sized fan bases and everything else, but at the same time, it is not a platform which the Japanese base particularly care to utilize. Um, a lot of Japanese streamers that I know personally that have tried to dual stream on Twitch and YouTube find that 2 to 1 the Japanese viewer prefers YouTube over Twitch in every case. And even if it is easier for them to get monetized on Twitch because of the standards, which makes it easier on the streamer, it's harder for them to maintain a fan base on Twitch, because if their audience is more of Japan, and the Asian market, as opposed to the English market, or European market, or South American market, then they end up struggling because it's not the Asian market's first choice. It's their first choice is always Twitcasting or YouTube or Bilibili or what's the other one? Nico Video. So seems like Visojo Japan is going to be more like a management firm rather than a VTuber company, according to Keisan and their streams. So yeah, they don't like the ads there either for some reason, and I don't know what if the I mean, I have YouTube Premium, so I have not seen a YouTube ad in, I don't know, 5-6 years now. So I don't know how intrusive the ads are on YouTube during like a long stream as opposed to Twitch. But I know Twitch is just horrible with intrusive ads unless you are, subscriber or member of a channel. So, I mean, that's another thing too, is, that the intrusiveness of ads is just, really, really bad over there. I think it's like you can't skip ads. You have to sit through them. You can't skip them. And sometimes they're like, literally it's like 2 back-to-back 30-second ads. So, you literally have to sit through like a minute worth of ads. And then if you try to skip one, you have to sit through another minute because it makes you replay the first ad over again. I mean, it's just horrible. It's terrible. It's just terrible. It's good for it's good for the revenue for the streamer, considering that ad revenue is poor to begin with. But I mean, ad revenue is horrendous. I mean, yeah, it needs to exist so the streamers can get paid, but at the same time, it's streamers would typically make more money off of membership and bits over there, once they're able to hit that ceiling, because if you're hoping to get paid off of ad revenue over there, you're gonna be waiting a while. That's why I just stuck with YouTube, because I'm like, there is no way that I'm gonna go through that same, you know, thing over there. Yep, yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's the same thing. Same thing, my friends. But so anyways, that's about the you know the gist of everything with going on with Sana. I'm gonna try to look up her schedule and see how well that's gonna fit in with everything that I need to do this week. Um, because I mean, this week is rather light for me as far as personal stuff that's going on. But considering that we did our um, wrestling night on Tuesday, I need to make sure I get everything ready for this coming Sunday, which is in 5 days, and then I believe, where are you, Hoshian? Where's your schedule? I need to look to see if Hoshian is doing her. Hoshian, are you doing the Octo expansion today, or? Hoshian, where is your channel? Yeah, that's the other game I was thinking about earlier. Splatoon 3 is September. And that is going to, I mean, I'm not sure how big that's going to be in Halllive, but I know, like, like Ina was, like, big into that, when she first started. I'm sure a lot of the other girls that play a lot of Switch games will also, be into that as well. Um, but I know myself and Hoshian are gonna be playing that. And when that comes out, I may actually start streaming in the mornings. Well, morning for me over here, afternoon and evening for Japan and in Asia, for a while, just because of the amount of time that I put into it. I mean, honestly, I should actually be working on finishing the story because I haven't finished the story or the Octo expansion yet for Splatoon 2. So I really need to finish that before it comes out. Okay, good. She's still finishing up Horizon Zero Dawn today, and tomorrow. Oh wow, she's still trying to finish Earth Defense Force. Okay. So Wednesday, she's finishing up, trying to finish up Horizon Zero Dawn. Tomorrow, Earth Defense Force 5, and then the 15th. Wow, she's actually gonna go that long. She's gonna play. She's gonna play Monster Hunter at midnight. Well, midnight for me, and then she's gonna play Splatoon at 6. Wow, she's really gonna game that long? Holy crap. I know. I know. I keep killing myself. Well, that's why I look to see when she plays Splatoon. Because I try to rest my hands the night before so I can play Splatoon when in the morning when she plays. You know, and if you watch her streams when I join her, like there's a lot of times where I'll join her and then I'll play like, you know, 4 or 5 matches, but then I'll drop afterwards because I I haven't been able to explain to her what's going on with my hands yet, and I'm kind of embarrassed to explain it to her. You know, and I know I'm gonna need to explain why I'm not gonna be able to play anything with her after I have the surgery done, but I'm just a little bit embarrassed to tell her, I guess. You know, not for any other reason, just that, you know, it's just male pride, I guess. I don't know. I know it sounds a little stupid, but I feel a little embarrassed, you know, telling her, because I have a lot of fun playing with her. To be honest, it's a lot of fun. I'm learning. I'm actually learning. My I think she'll understand too. It's just that I just feel embarrassed, you know. It's not an easy thing to say, you know. I mean, it's hard. It was really hard to. I mean, I know that it probably sounded easy when I told you guys, but I mean, it's one thing to say it out, you know, say it because it's obligation. It's another thing to say it because, you know. I mean, she's like my little sister, yo. You know, she's like a little sister to me, and I it, it it's hard to explain. But yeah, it's pride. It's just a pride thing. I know I'll have to explain it to her. So, but you know, yeah, I'll probably explain it to her, like, or try to explain it to her next week. You know, after cause I have one more. I have to finish. I have a final physical I have to clear, next week. Anyways, and as long as I clear that my final physical, um, you know, and they're just doing a blood count and everything to make sure that, you know, my blood count isn't, you know, low, and you know, my white blood count isn't low or anything like that, or high, showing signs of infection, or, you know, any of that fun stuff. That so I'm cleared to do the surgery. And, you know, as long as all that stuff's cleared, then I can explain it to her and let her know what's going on. But yeah, yeah. I know. It's just, you know, uh, I know. I know. It sounds silly. It's just you know. I know I need to say something to her. uh, but yeah, you know, and the fun thing though is that just being able to um, interact with her and her chat and everything like that um, has actually helped me understand um, Japanese sentence structure a lot more and comprehension a lot more. I'm starting to be able to apply a lot of what I've been learning to practical use when she talks and when she says things. And I'm starting to be able to comprehend things and understand the sentence, how the sentences are constructed a lot more, and it makes it easier for me when I'm typing things out to her and typing things out to Ankuro that I'm able to put sentences together a lot easier now when I'm talking to them, and it's really amazing that I've had I've had some uh, I've had some conversations with one of them, in text form, um, that before when I talked to them, um, it was difficult for them to understand because when you're relying solely on um, machine translation to ensure that your sentence grammar is correct, that words obviously will come out funny. It won't necessarily be correct, and they were actually you know able to I was able to communicate better with them because I've been able to listen to what they've been saying, listening to what I've been learning, and then being able to kind of put two and two together. So it's really good. I really appreciate both of them very much. you know it is a very hard language. It's um it, and I mean, you can spend a lifetime learning, um, you know, the language, and I don't care what anyone says, you're not going to be able to understand Japanese in a lifetime. There's Japanese people in Japan that still don't understand Japanese. I mean, it's just like people in America and England and every other English speaking country. You're never going to understand English in a lifetime, regardless of where you're born. you know, it just doesn't work that way. I mean, most Americans fail English in high school. They can't even pass elementary school English. So I am trying my best to learn Japanese. So I have a fairly good grasp of pronunciation of syllables. Um, I am very poor at comprehension of like reading. So I've had to start over from the basics again for like actually reading, um, to put the sounds together with the actual symbols and letters and everything like that. Um, but just being able to listen and hear somebody pronunciate the syllables and everything like that, and then of course being able to formulate words and get context of, what those syllables and words mean when put together into a sentence and how those sentence structures work. That's all like starting to come together. So it's slow, but at least it's appreciative that that they're both extremely patient with me too. So yeah, that's good. I I I don't think that um I don't think that I'll ever be able to like Duolingo um a stream per se, like some streamers can. But I do at least want to be able to at some point be able to see what somebody's typing and not be able and be able to read it and have confidence that I've been able to read it and comprehend it without having to double check to make sure my comprehension of what I've read in Japanese is correct. Um, you know, when I try to interpret what's being said, because a lot of times what I end up doing is I end up seeing what's being said in Japanese. I have to think about, okay, so how does that sound when you sound it out, and then I have to sound it out and then visualize it in alphanumeric characters in English, in English letters, and then I have to construct that together and then look at that and say, okay, I do recognize those words. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have to translate it so I can translate it so I can understand it. You know, whereas I need to be able to skip that one portion of it and be able to eventually be able to look at what's being typed and automatically say, okay, I know what this says, and not have to switch the letters from Japanese into English alphanumeric letters before I understand what it says. Do you know Sora the Troll? I have not watched or heard of Sora the Troll, but I'll have to look them up. Typing Japanese is very hard because using Western computer, it's not really built to type. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. There is a toggle for that, that you can turn on for in Windows, but even then you have to it's a software toggle, and then you have to turn it on, and then you have to literally within the toggle you have to select whether which keyboard you want to use, because if you're typing in one set, then obviously the characters are different. So if you need to switch between the sets, then you have to literally toggle between each set, and it gets really cumbersome. I was showing one of my other friends the whole thing, and they didn't realize that it was even possible to do that on the English version of Windows with the English or a US keyboard. But which they were really impressed with after I showed them that. But even then, it's still cumbersome, but it's at least manageable, instead of going out and having to buy, a whole different keyboard just to do that. The hardest part is getting reading material. Yeah, the funny thing is, I was watching Pina stream. I think it was a day or two before her 1 year anniversary. No, it was the stream that we watched her debut stream, and someone asked her how she learned Japanese. And she basically said that the way that she learned Japanese was that she learned the Japanese alphabet, and then she started learning how to read Japanese purely by reading manga, watching Japanese news broadcasts, and watching TV shows in Japanese, with in Japanese with English subtitles. That's how she learned. That's how she initially learned Japanese. And everything that she all the reading material that she got, as much as she could, she tried to get all the reading material that she could in Japanese, because that way, if she wanted to read something, she had to read Japanese, otherwise she couldn't read anything. So it was like, she was basically forced to, because that's all that she was exposed to. Which actually does make a lot of sense when you're younger, because if that's what you're exposed to, and that's what your environment is, then you're not really given a choice but to adapt. And when I was younger and I lived in Germany for a while, I was left with my my step uncle and aunt over there for 6 months. My dad had to go on TDY, and my mother chose to go with him, and they couldn't have us. They couldn't have my my sibling, my older sister, or me. They couldn't take the children with them. So they were gone for 6 months. And I learned a lot of German back. I don't know any of it now. I know Nine and Guten Morgen. That's about it. But my sister was almost like fluently German by the time my parents came back, because she was of school age, and my parents didn't enroll her in school. So my step aunt and uncle, they enrolled her in school, and of course it was a German school. So that's all they really taught there. So she just picked up German. Yeah, I've seen a couple of those clippers, and they're very helpful with that stuff. It's really nice. I could really appreciate that when they put the Japanese subtitles in there. you know, it's kind of hard to I wish I wish there was a better way of um the YouTube algorithm to pick up dialogue with people, um so like the auto subtitle algorithm would be more accurate even with Japanese, because especially with the way a lot of Japanese people talk in general. They either talk so fast that the algorithm can't comprehend what they're saying, or their pitch and tone is so high that it doesn't register what they're saying. So you miss entire segments of whatever it is that they're saying for that point. And then of course you get people like Cori, who is basically like oh my god, what was that? I mean, this is like constantly, and sometimes she speaks for like 5 minutes and it's a gibberish, but yet the YouTube algorithm picks up that she's saying something in English. It doesn't make any sense, but it's like, okay, whatever. But yeah, it's useless. It's really useless, and I mean, I've complained about it for a while, but of course, they're not going to do anything about it as long as they're still making tons of money. I mean, the entire YouTube platform it needs a uh, it's in dire need of an overhaul. And I'm sorry to say that it really needs an overhaul. They really need to like consider doing like a YouTube 2.0 or something like that, where they overhaul the entire interface and segment, the entire um way it's presented, everything, everything from subscriptions to to channels, to the way that you know you know way things are classified, things, just everything. I mean, there has to be a way where they can allow the subscriber to actually categorize their subscriptions, be able to drag and drop them in the individual folders, where, I mean, me personally, if I could separate my subscriptions, so I have like one folder purely for Halllive, one folder purely for Niji, one folder purely for all the channels that are that follow, that are scientific, and for science and space. One folder that is specifically for entertainment. One folder that's specifically for gaming. I mean, I would be like, I would be happy. Miko was ranked like English VTuber elite Miko elite English elite elitis alingish. uh I'll be completely honest with you with Miko. When I first started watching VTubers way back when, I remember Cori. I was watching something a stream about Cori. Well, it was a Cori stream, and she was talking about um I can't remember it was something to do. It was, you know, she was gaming on some retro game, um and she mentioned something about Minecraft, and how, you know, she doesn't spend as much time on Minecraft because, you know, it's not, you know, it's not that she doesn't want to play it, but, you know, it's just not her thing per se. And um you know, she mostly likes, you know, doing Minecraft stuff when there's other people there, you know, when she can interact with other people. And she started talking about Miko back then. Yeah. And she started talking about Miko, and, you know, back then, uh, Miko had some health scare and had to be gone for a while, and then, you know, and then she was able, and then she came back, and she was talking about how, um, you know, she was so happy when Miko was able to come back. And um, you know, they and you know, some clippers found, or some clippers did some clipping of them when they were able to meet up after she came back in Minecraft, and they met up together in Minecraft and stuff like that. And she was like really happy and stuff like that. And, you know, I had never watched Miko before then, so I was like, you know, I mean, it was a very touching story that she told, right? So I was like, okay, well, I'll check her out, you know. Yeah, I heard that she has health issues, but, you know, I've never really dug into what her health issues were. What see. Hi, what do I miss? I'm 2 hours late to the stream. So welcome, by the way. We basically we covered the announcement of we covered the announcement from Cover and from Halllive regarding her graduation. She is going to graduate at the end of this month. Her channel is going to remain, as far as we know. They have not announced any deletion or removal of her content. Now, her if you are unaware, and you are either a current member of her channel, um, and as a member, as not just a subscriber, but an actual member of her channel and have an active membership, or if you are interested in, you know, whatever membership or exclusive content that is on her channel, that content is only going to be available until October 31st. And as soon as it rolls over to November 1st, JST, that content will no longer be available. So that's something just to be aware of if you want to archive any content that may be in there. The other members of the Holo Council have stated that for the rest of this month, as many chances as they have, they are going to try to do as many collaboration streams with her as much as possible. So I have not looked to see what their active schedules look like, or if they've revised any of their schedules. But you might want to check with either her schedule or with the other members of the console, as well as probably the other members of Hollow Myth. to see whether or not they have scheduled any collaborations with her, or revise their schedules, because she has grown rather close with a lot of the members other than the console. So just something else to be aware of. And as of right now, there has not been any indication that excuse me. There has been no indication of any drama or controversy, or any type of um, anything like that. That is the reason why she is graduating. It seems purely by her choice and purely because of personal issues that she's having. Um, we do know that she has had some significant issues that have happened over the past year. So I would take that under consideration when they say that it's because of her personal issues. She has obviously had some health issues as well. So, but you know, we're not going to pry too much into the issue unless it's reported through official channels. If there are rumors that are, picked up, you know, we will definitely address rumors, but we will address them as rumors. We will not address them as fact or speculate whether or not, those rumors have any weight to the actual reason why she is graduating. But needless to say, she has her reasons, and we don't need to pry into those reasons. But that's in a nutshell. That's what's going on. Otherwise, we have basically been talking shop about other happenings that have been going on, whether or not they've related to Sana or not. We kind of segued off a little bit because it's getting close to like last year they had their big meetup on the Minecraft server, for the whole summer type of festival type thing that they did last year. And we kind of segued off, and I went into a story I heard about with Miko and Cori, about when Miko had her health scare and she was gone for a while, and then she came back, and Cori and Miko met up on the Minecraft server. I thought it was extremely. I thought the entire story was extremely touching because they she Cori, she seems to get really sentimental and very emotional when it comes to her friends. It literally like a lost puppy at times. Where she gets like really excited as soon as like she sees her, a friend or something, or a friendly face. She automatically gets excited, or she sees someone that she hasn't seen in a long time. She automatically perks up, that kind of thing. Yeah, not a problem, not a problem. That's about the gist of it. There hasn't been any new developments or anything like that so far. It looks like it's just been, fortunately, it has been rather cut and dry. If anything does pop up, we'll definitely talk about it. But I mean, we're not going to speculate on anything unless it comes either from her or from official sources. Um, we'll address rumors as rumors, but we're not gonna speculate further than that. Ooh, bread. 18 hours from now. Ooh. Elite English. I love So yeah, about Miko. Anyways, yeah. So I turned her on, right, as way back when I turned her on, and I heard her speak, and she had that very nasally sound. She talked like this, Daddy, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Konnichiwa, yes, she talks like that, And I'm like, who is this? I'm like, okay, I don't know if I can watch her for hours on end, It's so and so like I turned her off, and and I did. I know, right? And then, and then like I didn't think about watching her again for a while, right? And then like they did that. They did their Among Us collab, right? And so they're all running around, and they first freedom lady, let go. Yeah. uh, to be able to translate Muna's English into Japanese and call out Robocop. I know, right? Isn't that great? It's so great. you, yeah. See, so you want to climb up? On top of Freedom Lady. Go on top of Freedom Lady and jump off and fly down and yeah. when I saw when I saw Miko call out Roboco on her English, I was like, oh no, no, because I remember when I was like way more active in Roboco's chat, especially when I used to super chat her a lot more than I do now. Which I mean, she's been out for a long time now because of her health and her obligations and everything. But she like put a lot of effort into her English. And before that, I remember her saying that she studied English and could at least read it. And no, she cannot do either. I was like, no. I had the face palm. I was like, yeah. But yeah, I remember watching her, and thinking, no, I can't listen to her. I just can't listen to this voice. And then, I saw, they were playing Among Us, and I remember seeing. I was like, oh yeah, that Miko girl's playing. Okay, so I back then I used to like watching, like seeing who all was playing that, and then like try to like watch each stream to see what happened from every perspective. And of course, Miko starts playing, right? And the first match, she's not sus, she's a crewmate, so she's running out. I really forgot that. Dania! I'm like, oh my god, I can't watch this. And it's like, oh, stop. Don't do that. No. Yeah. I mean, it was just like, why? Why are you doing that? Stop. you know. And then of course, like the next match, she's like, she's sus, and she finally is able to like go kill other people, right? And so she's like, she's like, okay. Ah. And of course, she hits the wrong button, and then she jumps into a shoot. She automatically jumps into one of those shoot things, and then and I think it was like I can't remember who it was that like called her out on it. I'm like, oh. Marko-san! Hey, konnichiwa! That was my Miko imitation. Sakura Miko-chan. Yes. Mikochi, hi, yeah. that was Mikochi. Miko never learn when come to chat. Oh, Mikochi is just so. She is gullible. She is so easy to deceive. Mikochi believe everything. She believe everything. Now you are a member of Halllive. Yeah. I yeah, Miko always trusts the 35p. 100%. Yes. Miko always I love watching when they Miko tells them something, she can't figure something out, and her chat will always tell her something, and she's like onto you're not lying, no, you no lie, okay. And then she goes and does it and dies. And she's like, baka. I swear. I think she has like one of the cutest yet most annoying rage quits or rage voices out of all of them. But at the same time, it's like it's almost as bad as like hearing like a crying baby at 4 o'clock in the morning. It can be bad. But yeah, I hope Miko does more wrestling, Hollow Fighter. That would be really fun. She has done a lot with that. I mean that's part of what keeps my channel alive, but with the inspiration that she's given me, but I did play, like I said earlier, I did play a little bit of her laughs. I'll be honest, her laugh is like, yeah, her laugh is definitely medicine for the soul. There are times where I can watch a clip of Miko, and without any context at all, just you can like watch it, and you can instantly feel better. You don't have to know like what happened before, what happened after, or even like even what game she's playing. You just have to like see the clip, and then you automatically feel better. I mean, that's just the way it is. Let's see here. Hang on. Let's see. Oh, that's great. Okay, we gotta click on this one. Yeah, let's see if I can get this full screen.
あ、みんな見て、これは幻の生物ユニコーンさんだよ。ユニコーンさん、こんにちは。ほー、おめえがファッキューなんですけど、ファッキュー、ニューファッキューだよ。なんだこのユニコーン、態度悪いな。あ、見て、あ、すごい、すごい。ファッキュー。あ、こいつ、この、お前にはお仕置きが必要だね。あ、ごめんなさい、すみません。おい、ふざけん逃げんじゃねえよ、おめえ。おい、わかれよ、おめえ。ユニコーンらしくしろよ、おめえ。ちょっとごめんなさい。なんだ。
Oh, that was great. Oh, that was great.
でも早起きしようって言って団長とねフレアはちょっとあれなんよね荷物とかの
Let's see. Talking about their short trip on the next day, I had.
ちょ
Okay.
っと待ってから早く起きたんだけどその時にちょっと暗すぎたからカーテンのちょっと光をやりたいと思って外の光欲しいと思ってカーテン開けた瞬間ミコチがさギャッって言ってなんか浄化されようとして
だって日差しがきつかったんだもんね。
二人はね、
我々はお寝坊さんだからギリギリまで寝た本当に。
でもミコは2日目スイちゃんのことを起こした。
そうなんかさ、あやキラっつってさスイちゃんの上にさドカって乗ってきてさ、 苦しい。苦しい。もう嫌だと思って起きた。
Yo,
やっぱ早起きしようって言って
I did not realize that Flair was taller, or maybe that's just the way that they're all situated. Is Flair really tall that much? Let's see if I can get the. Yeah, I mean, the top of her head is to the top of her beret. Is she really that much taller? She can't be that much taller than Polka, is she? Maybe they just made Polka extremely small for the stream. Yeah, I think that's the thing I miss the most is that there's just so much. It's so hard to keep up with everybody. That. What are you doing?
なんでだよ。助けてみんな。やばい。やばい。離れない。助けてもう。
Making a trap to surprise Suchan. Yeah, I think I could literally make an entire stream of watching Miko clips.
ちょっとミコの今回のね作戦はいこれねちょっとミコ最近
We should do that one night. We should like literally do like an entire stream of Miko
叫ぶ
clips.
ヤギのね角をもぎ取るんだけどまずはうちの星町をゆっくらホイホイさせようかなという作戦なわけねこれねエンダーマン遊んでも集めてくるエンダーマン持ってきたら本当に殺されると思うよみよこガチでおーでここで育てるわけなはいおたまじょくしたーでておいでポンポンオラオラオラオラオラオラあれどうしたみんな見て白くね白いんだけど白いんだけどみんなこれあ熱帯だから暑いからってこと砂漠は白だよかわいい わあいたよスイちゃん。びっくりした。
She's
びっ
like,
くりした。あ、
え Drop her potato.
もしかしたらもうこのアカウント一生使っていくことになるかもしれない。いいんだろうか。
Oh boy.
え
え
ええなんかいたよな今。なんかいますよね。あれなんかいます。なんかこれそういうポーション使ってなんかいますよね。にゃーん。なんか足音しない？なんかいますよね。なんか
Miko does know she can see the little circle things, right?
なんか誰かいるなんか誰かいるんだけど誰？でもミコチかコヨだよな。どうせミコチだろどうせミコチだろっつって。でエリトラがさどっか行ったんだよね。エリトラどこなんだろう。社長エリトラどこ？何エリトラが私が求めていたエリトラが浮いている。エリトラエリトラ欲しい。このエリトラ欲しい。我が名はエリトラあなたはエリトラちょうど求めていました。倒したら手に入るで。本当？倒したら手に入る。あなたを倒せば手に入りますか？
あなたを倒せば待ってやめなよ。
Ow!
やめてよダメ
どこ行くのエリトラ。ねえエリトラさんどこ行くの。ねえ欲しいそのエリトラ。
Oh no!
だよ。怖い。すぐ持ってくる。あれそれ猫の違うに。さっきねエリトラさんが全部くれた。ちょっと返せ。こっちだよ。ここだよ。ここだよ。よいしょ。行きな。
え
はんはん。待ってキモい。おいちょっと待ってキモいんだけど。本当にキモい。出して。キモい。キモい。待ってキモい。
Does she really hate like frogs that much?
おいバカおい壊すバカお前この野郎バカ何これ本当にキモくない？本当にそのさ目玉やばい。目玉本当にキモい。目玉キモくない？本当にキモくない？本当にキモい。ちょっと待って本当にキモいって本当にキモい。引っかかってね。キモい本当にキモいちょっと待って。これが新しい様だよ。違うよ。これ新しい様じゃないよ。分かってるスイちゃんは。 あここ新しい玉じゃない。違う。本当にタバコキモ。
Oh, she thinks
ガ
those,
チでキモ。
she hates bugs and all sorts of gross things.
もう信じられない強制やっと出る。なに待ってやばい焼ける。やばい凍る。助けて誰か。世界がもうやばい凍って。出た。ブオンじゃねえんだよ。降りろ早く。早く降りろ。調子出た。
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
返せよ怒りのボンボ
One of ink. Oh, that is funny. That's funny. I didn't realize that she was so girly. you know, like that she really really hates those bugs and frogs and stuff like that. That's really I mean it's cute in an adorable kind of way, but I can understand. That's great. You gotta love Mikochi for pulling the prank on her like that. Well, guys, I think we accomplished what we needed to accomplish tonight. We did talk about Sana's graduation. We did cover the the good. We covered all the bases about what's going to happen with her. We talked about all everything that we probably will feel in the next several weeks, with her departure. Oh, I hate those silverfish. I know. Yeah. And I don't blame her. I really don't. And I think it's good that we're able to turn back around and watch stuff like this together too, where you can see the fact that people like Miko and Sue, Susei, and so many of the Halllive members, they get along so well, and they're able to have memories and moments like this where you can go back and you can find clips like this where they spend time together, they joke around, and they they can even kind of prey on each other's insecurities or things that they don't like, things that they hate, or their dislikes and everything like that, and in the moment, she probably like really disliked Miko for pulling that prank on her, but in hindsight, she probably also would really enjoy the fact that she that she had that that moment to look back on her with her, so it's there's going to be more moments like that with Sana here for the rest of the month, so we really need to enjoy those moments while they're here, so is really 13th there. It's my birthday today, and I know a lot of people having birthdays. Oh yeah, that's right, Oreo. Let's see here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Oreo. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Oreo. Yay. I really need to set up my soundboard. How am my soundboard set up? Yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hope that you have lots more happy birthdays. You know, I'm glad that you're able to celebrate it. You know, and celebrate it here. Yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah, and I'm glad that you're able to celebrate it with lots of other people that are, you know, having birthdays on the same day. It's really nice to be able to have other people to celebrate your birthday with. You know, it's having people to celebrate uh, you know, an important day like that together is very important. So yeah, happy birthday. Hope you really are able to do something that or were able to do something, you know, special for today. And if you haven't, I hope that you're able to do something special for yourself before the end of the month, so you can celebrate it. So yeah, I'm glad that you reminded me before I ended stream, because I forgot to I forgot to say something at the end of our last stream here. So that's I'm glad you reminded me. Yeah. So yeah. Well, guys, it is almost 2:30 in the morning here. So I'm gonna call it a night. You know, and since Hoshian is streaming Horizon Zero Dawn today, um, you know, I'll be able to rest my hands and stuff like that, so and not have to worry about getting up early and playing a game, and I can just kind of like chill and relax when she streams, so I can just kind of watch her play. But I still do need to kind of crash her still, because I'm still not completely 100% from recovering yet. So I do want to at least lay down and get some rest here for a little bit before she streams later on tonight. Or for her it's tonight. For me it'll be later on this morning. But oh, okay, that's good to know. Yeah. Thank you everyone for stopping in. You know, like I said, you know, my streams are not just for gaming. You know, especially for situations like this. You know, if we need to talk about stuff like this, it's certainly you know, a topic worth talking about. So you know, I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to talk about it, and we can chat and, you know, just talk about anything else in general. So, um, but yeah, I will post I will post a room either later on today or tomorrow for Hollow Cure. I do want to play that a little bit while chatting, and we can catch up a little bit more and stuff like that. But until then, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you very much for stopping in. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, evening, or night, whatever it may be for you guys. Ario, again, have a great, happy birthday. Thank you very much for spending some of your birthday time with us. I appreciate it. Um, and you have a great one. Everyone else, please enjoy the rest of your day or have a great morning. And we'll talk to you soon. And until then, this is Marko Yamashita signing off. Take care, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.
あ